Hi, my name is Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are playing Final Fantasy VI and recording it on VHS. And gosh dang, already we have this track just kicking in and just, again, instantaneous excitement. I love this game. Anyway, so last time, well, hey, we got ourselves an airship, and that's great, because now we can fly around. Also, the skies are dangerous, so I should be careful about that. Well, hey, I had a thing about leading in, and actually I need to not be flying for that. We'll cover that in a second. We have a number of stops we're making today. It's going to be one of those hodgepodge episodes, but there's a point to all of it. First stop is actually going to be this Coliseum up here. So the thing that I wanted to open with, this is where I saved last time, and this is the save I loaded. You'll notice that whole 1 minute difference between the those save times, and that's because between episodes I went into Jador to deal with the auction house nonsense and got the thing I was looking for first try. That thing is somewhere in this list. Where is it? Here it is. There was another hero ring that we could get. So that was cost a pretty penny at 50,000. But you know what? That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. So yes, it's a lot to pay for a relic. However, hero rings are in short supply, and they raise both magic and fight damage by 20%. Sorry, 25%. So yeah, they're pretty good. And there's been a few people that have wanted to equip those sorts of things on. So what brings us to, speaking of saving, what brings us here to the Coliseum that I kind of shrugged off last time? First of all, we need to get things properly set up. Enhancer, Mystery Veil, and Crystal Mail is fine. Crystal Mail is fine. Alright, so we're running Celeste with a 59% block chance, and importantly, that wall ring that we just threw at her. So the thing about the Coliseum is, you basically come in here, and I guess there's an exclamation button I could go through, but we bet an item. And we're going to bet this is Arena Gown. This is, like, specifically armor for Realm that is pretty good, but actually kind of gets outclassed by some other things that we could find. And I think we'll end up finding one of those today. So we're going to go ahead and bet this, because what we can get out of it is Minerva, which is super good. And that might be understating it. So the Coliseum, you just go in and it is just random fights. Like pure on auto battler sort of situation. So Celeste is just going to do whatever she wants here. And that's kind of a pain, because it means she can sit there in Runic instead of just letting Doom be cast and reflected off of her. Sometimes she'll actually attack, hot dang. Sometimes she'll just cast random magic, like opening the fight with Dispel. Great. That's real useful. That's real good. Yep, there we go. We win. So, Minerva, before I equip it, let's have a look. Raises MP by a quarter. It's only for Terra and Celeste. It's got, plus a bunch of stats, which is pretty good, plus 4 magic, which is not bad at all. Decent, like, really good defense, really good magic defense, and also a 10% magic block. But let's go back to these icons over here. We've got 50% damage from water, earth, pearl, and poison elements. No effect from wind, lightning, ice, or fire. So, yeah. When I said super good, again, like, that's kind of an understatement. This is extremely top tier end of game armor. So hey, Celeste, here you go. Like, look at that. Look at that. Let's go through those numbers again. Everything is yellow except for battle power and evade chance. And evade chance we don't care about. We've got our nice magic block defense back, and we don't even have our white cape on. And now that we're done with that, we can take our wool ring off and put on the white cape again, and we now have more than nice magic block, which is great, until the optimization comes in and we have to re-equip things. But yeah, Celeste is now kind of suddenly a beast, just flat out. Let's actually read the explanation. We fight for items, etc. here. Just choose the thing you want to wager. Next, your opponent will appear. Choose someone for your party to fight this opponent. A one-on-one auto battle will then take place. They actually call it an auto battle. Neat. The item you wagered covers your participation fee. If you win, you'll be rewarded with an even better item. That's all there is to it. Better item in very large quotations there. So, well, hey, ultimately, like, there's a lot of there's like actual strategies that go into like fighting each of the different types of enemies, and like a lot of things that you can bet. You will bet against Chupon, who will just sneeze you and you get nothing. If you get sneezed or otherwise like removed from battle, then it counts as a draw and you get your item back. If you lose, you lose your item, and that kind of sucks. Which is why the most important strategy is to save beforehand. So, I don't know how much that place is going to show up in the playthrough. There's a few things that will happen there. Where am I going? What am I doing? So like I said, today is kind of hodgepodge day. I haven't edited things yet, so I don't know if me flying over this mysterious little star mountain. So it has a like, weird star-shaped mountain with a hole in the middle. If we try to land in that hole, right, we're going in. Hey, Celeste, and there we go. 2 teams. And it's one of these 2-party situations. This is something that they do. It's been like kind of occasional. They do it a couple times more in the World of Ruin, which they actually do like these split party dungeons. I think they're really neat. But we're not doing that right now because it's dangerous. However, what that has allowed us to do is we only have Setzer in our party now, which means that we have people outside of our party that we can go talk to and also rearrange our party. So that was the whole thing. Like that's all we're doing with this space for now. Oh, if something happens to me, all the world's women will grieve. Sure they will. Right. I'm glad I made it this far. I feel I have a lot to live for. Okay, before we go a-changin'... What was it doing? Right, I wanted to steal your thing, because we're leaving Setzer behind for now. It's fine. Setzer's fine. Actually, do I want to... I'm just going to take his relics. Because he's one of those characters I just don't know what I'm doing with. And you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and build our party of 3. And Setzer, you're going to stay behind on the ship. And we're also going to take your things. Something good will come of all of it. So today is, again, kind of hodgepodge smattering of doing all sorts of various things. One of those various things is, well, several of those various things is searching for friends, which is, again, the title of this track. That's what we're doing right now. There's one friend in particular, though, that I want to pick up first. Oh, and I really want to go further than that in here. Oh, by the way, Narsh, we met a guard from Narsh Luckily, the tutorial house is still here, and they still have their spring water bucket. But Narsh is filled with monsters. And it gets the bad vibes music. Furthermore, these... Oh, geez. Wasn't expecting a pincer attack. Things are actually, like, kind of dangerous around here. But it's okay, we've got, Sabin. Okay, real quick, we need to do this dumb check. Alright. You have zone seek, great, okay. Alright, don't need to worry about espers for a bit. Great. Also, ooh, hey, a test rider. Seems immune to instant death. Hacked up my orbital. Great, perfect. Gosh, dang it. Every time I start getting decent at orbitals, and then I just like slightly change the position of my hand or something, and just like, oh, can't do them anymore. Those guys actually have something good that we can steal, but unfortunately we can't steal right now because we do not have luck, and we do not have anybody that can use the thief knife item, etc. Right. There was something I wanted to do before coming this way. It's fine. We can deal with it after. Hey, the security system is disabled now, so we don't have to deal with that walking through this room in a very specific path. Alright, also, I found out from various poking through walkthroughs and things, so just like, hey, stuff. They had some nice things listed as in this area. This is one of those cases where, like, hey, you should actually leave treasure chests alone and let them marinate, I guess. Oh no, my 2 MP. Oh, jeez. Yeah, apparently the treasure chests, like, specifically in this chunk of the Narsh cave systems, if you let them marinate between, like, from World of Balance to the World of Ruin, the World of Ruin versions get much nicer things. Like, we got, like, the Runic Blade or Rune Blade or whatever, at some point that I never used because it takes mana in order to use, or rather, it uses mana. Words are hard. It eats mana every time you attack to guarantee a critical, which is a neat effect and a neat idea, but also just like, early on in the game, magic is just way too valuable to use like that. So, yeah, no. If I had left that chest in particular, then, boy howdy, that becomes a ribbon in the World of Ruin, which is, it hurts to miss out on that. I think the rest of the items are just like, oh yeah, they just turn into like from potions to elixirs or something. There's one other one that is a relic. Anyway, don't talk to me. I'm Angie. Koopo, you're alive! I thought you were all feeding the worms, Koopo. Koopo, ho, ho, ho. Let's go. Say, we could use some Sasquatch muscle. Besides, he'd be helpless here without me. He's somewhere in the mines. Once we find him, I'll order him to join us. Missed you, bud. Alright. Also, so this is going to be helpful for my purposes. No random encounters. Just none. Just yeet. Now we can run around as much as we like and not have to deal with random encounters. So he mentioned a Sasquatch there, by the way, that chest, because I can. It's right over here. You could have been a ribbon. You could have been a ribbon. Also, further good news, because Narsh now actually counts as a dungeon, we can warp out of it. So, okay, the Sasquatch thing. What the heck? What the heck? We've never seen a Sasquatch. We've never met a Sasquatch. I don't think we ever caught a glimpse of a Sasquatch out of the corner of our eye. But, oh no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about that for now. We'll come back here with Mog. Specifically, we need to come back here with Mog for reasons, to do stuff at a future date. But we're not going to do that right now because we are looking for the friends that we know. Not new friends quite yet. So first things first, we're heading back to Jador because I forgot that I actually did want to buy something from here. I don't know why I didn't buy one of these before, but hey, turns out... I think it was probably because I only had Edgar at the time. Do I need to buy any more armor? I don't think I did. We're fine. Do want, though, the weapon shop is over here, is this partisan. Didn't buy it before, probably because we had just Edgar in our party and he had the enhancers. These are actually like really good. So we're going to go ahead and buy one. Do I want to buy one for Edgar as well? He's still on enhancer stuff right now. Actually, I think we do want to buy one for him. If I remember correctly, from various bits, having Edgar actually use the Genji Glove is kind of bad for his physical attack with his tools. The tools command, because the Genji Glove reduces the damage of each attack, but because you have two of them, it does more damage overall. So let's actually switch you out to... where is it? One of these. We'll do the thing. There you are. Can never find Atlas armor in that list. I don't know why. So, Falchion? You seem to think you are better than a partisan? Apparently you are. Jeez. Goodness. If I gave him a partisan and also the dragon horn and turned him into a dragoon style, then that would actually be solid. Anyway. Partisan for Mog, who is our Dragoon. One day will become an Imp Dragoon. Don't worry about that. That's for later. I didn't realize that Falchion was quite that good. Alright, so, running around and not taking any random battles is actually kind of a dangerous thing. Just flat out. It can lead us into complacency. and otherwise, we could run into some issues of, like, I haven't leveled up enough and that sort of thing. And in fact, we kind of don't want to deal with that. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to make a decision. We'll go this way. There we go. Let's go check in on Terra and Mobliz and all that stuff. Catherine's gone. Dwayne was being mean to her, so Catherine took off. I know, Catherine's going to have a baby. My mom looked like that before my brother appeared. You're not going to take Tara away, are you? I saw Dwayne kissing Catherine. Catherine's gone. Catherine's belly's growing bigger. Catherine's gone. Being gone, so is Tara. It's only, you know, a little concerning to have poor young pregnant woman just kind of running away in this sort of area. Hello, dog. Goodbye, dog. I don't know what to do. Catherine's pregnant. I don't know. Support her? Help her? Watch over her? Anyway, where'd that dog go? Hey, you guys. Catherine's having a baby. I'm so happy to have a child, but Dwayne seems miserable. Catherine, I'm sorry, I didn't know how to handle this. I've been an awful husband, but I'm learning. Please, come back with me. Ah, Funbala's back. Please, save this village. I simply can't fight. Please, rid us of Funbaba once and for all. I'll keep Catherine safe. Feel safe when Dwayne's around. And most importantly, woof. Alright, nerd. You're in trouble now. I've got a Moogle. And I'm actually doing my aura bolts correctly. And I can just absorb your magic. Sucker. Alright, some of my aura bolts I'm doing correctly. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Tara? Alright, so now we actually get to see Morph in action and not, me being sad at getting beat up while morphed. Alright, Runic does that. Har har har. Oh. Don't mind me, I'm just a dum-dum. Oh no, Bolt 2. Har har har. Sucker. Targeting Celeste. You rube. Also, check out that damage that Terra's putting out. 3,000 on an Ice 2. It's real good. It's real quite good. Oh dang, you actually hit the Moogle. Now you pay. Alright, that's actually dangerous. You know what, actually, I'm going to wait for Celeste, so we can have her cast an Ice too, just for comparison's sake. So yeah, there you go. Celeste, who is wearing, you know, pretty much in-game armor, and has like a significant boost to her magic stat, doing 800 less than a Morph Terra. Morph is it's real powerful. It's just one of those things that I need to like actually make use of more. Monster again? I'm afraid. I'm always afraid. Mama? It is you, isn't it? I can tell. Huh? Mama? Terra? Mama! Terra! I can fight. Finally, I understand that feeling. Even though I kept it buried for so long, I'm sure it's called love. I now realize that we must fight for the future of our children. Dwayne, Katarina needs you now. Yeah, let's try that again. Dwayne, Katarina needs your help. So does your new baby. Listen, children, your mama has to go away for a while. I'll return when I feel your future's guaranteed. Mama, I'm not gonna cry. Me either. I'll be back, I promise. Till then, you behave. Thank you. You helped me to understand a part of myself. Now I must go to war. We must all believe we have a future. We must fight for those who aren't even born yet. She back. I think she's like Optima, like just joined the party and then equipped Optimum gear. Now the question is, do I give her the quote-unquote shield, or do I just go hard on the power? Let's go for the bit of a shield. Alright, and we are slow walking out because they kicked out our sprint shoe wearer. So that's great. Terra found her reason to fight. Terra's actually figured out what love is. Next up, this music might sound familiar. It sure does to me, who spent 20 hours out here doing the rage grind. Alright. It's like, why am I not getting into any random encounters? I wonder why. Whatever could be causing that to happen. Okay, now this is just a comedy. Anytime now. There we go, jeez. Oh no, Rhinoxes. Flippin' Rhinoxes.
Wow. Whoa. Oh, I'm Gao. I'm your friend. Let's travel together.
I don't think I ever found a proper voice for Gao, but anyway, hey, Gao's back. So that was easy. Alright. So, Gao is always kind of a weird one for relics. Was never quite sure what to do. Who has that? Mog? Mog has that, right? Yeah, great, perfect. Whoever... Edgar does have that. Okay. Does this matter? How are people doing on levels and such? Everything is fine. Great. Perfect. So, we're not quite done with the Veldt. Because there's this cave down here. There's this cave down here. There we go. It's like, wait a minute. So at this point, if we really wanted to, we could start running around and grabbing... Speaking of running around and grabbing things. It's fine. So... Woof. Woof. Good doggos. You're coming with us? Alright, so we can always come back to this cave later. Hey look, this cave exists. Let's follow that dog. No, let's try that again. We three recently went hunting on the Veldt. We saw some weird kid there dressed all in hides. For some reason, he never came near all four of us when we were together. In a forest north of the Veldt dwells a frightful dragon. I suppose no human could ever defeat it, but oh, how free we could be if someone could. Reduce your number of people in your party if you want them to approach you. You mean like this kid? This kid right here? So yeah, that's where you would get your hint of how to get Gao. A rage ring that has nothing to do with Gao, as you might You might think it would, but in all actuality, where are you? One of these icons is not like the other. One of these icons is actually a relic. There it is. Equip on a Sasquatch and absorb fire and no effect from lightning. Can be used by nobody that I know of. But we have heard something about a big brute. How's everybody doing? Let's do a quick heal.
Monster in a box.
It's Aloe Vera, who casts Doom, which is just rude. I don't remember. I don't think I want to use water on him, so let's just go with the thing that will cast Meteor. And let's absorb magic. Heck. As you can see, the ammo weapon is doing a fair amount of damage at this point. Okay, time to turn up the tables because... Oh wait, no, you have death protection because... Nope, you do not. You have the timer over yet. Never mind. It's done. We did it. We get Tiger Fangs, which is actually like a really good... So when I was saying, hey, I think we have like the best thing ever with the Dragon Claws, as it turns out the Tiger Fangs put it to absolute shame. 3223 and 215 for that battle power. The Dragon Claw, meanwhile, with that Pearl element, it's pretty useful, but also 188 versus 215, that's like 10% boost. So yeah. Gosh, I'm really enjoying this Mule Charm, just being able to run through places. I will have to come back here on my own time to actually, like, do fights and, get... I need to do the fights and, like, unlock those things for the Velt. But that's a me problem. But this sure as heck makes it, I know, it's Shadow. Shadow, we'll get there eventually. Don't worry, Interceptor. We're on our way. But first, actually, I need to go this way. Because down here in this box is an important item called the Striker. It's just a weapon for Shadow that has, like, a lot of Shadow's items, actually. Since I just arranged, it should be at the bottom of the list. Yeah! Randomly dispatches an enemy. For Shadow only. 190 attack power. Not bad. However, we need that for specific reasons. We'll get to it. We will do our safety save here because gotta be safe. There he is. Ah, woof. Look at those wounds. A senior behemoth. This is fine. We'll send our own behemoth after it. And start runicking because we can. I really need to remember to talk over this section because this is the music that always gets copyright claimed. As much of a pain as it is. Like, it's not like the bad sort of copyright claim. It's just like they might run ads and Squeenix might take some ad revenue or something. And just like, I think YouTube probably runs ads anyway because YouTube is does what it wants. Alright, Terra is running a little bit low on health, so that's kind of a problem when it comes to her Atma weapon. Let's fix things. Alright, apparently ice weakness on... New enemy purchase. I think the only thing the Hypnogas does is put people to sleep. So, it's fine. Everything's fine. That hit real dang hard. Alright. Alright, well, Celeste is asleep, so let's keep up the fire. And there we go. 5 magic points, and a behemoth suit, and a thunderblade. Alright, so this is where the kind of typo, I'm not sure if it's actually a typo or if it's just like using the same text box. We'll come back to that, but anyway. We can't do anything for her here. Let's take her back to Thamasa using the airship. That's the why that says her. If we had not waited for Shadow, it would not be Shadow in this cave. Instead, it would be Realm. I mean, there's only one other female character for us to to potentially have in this cave at this point, because we already have Celeste and Terra. So it's very much just like a weird... it's one of those things of like, I don't know if it's actually like if it was a typo in the text tables or whatever, or if it was just like there's only one text option, and because it could also be Realm there, it got localized as her. Anyway, you are having a nightmare. You came to fetch me, but I won't be coming back. I want you and the girl to live in a peaceful world. Let's just hear for a moment. Are you okay? No need to worry. It's just a stretch. Also, he's gonna stand guard, so you just relax. Interceptor, best boy. This looks awfully familiar. So, there's... I'm just going to put the text on the wall. Shadow was dreaming of somebody walking this direction who was being followed by a dog. Who do we know that fits that description? And the dog was pointing back north. Like, very, very much right here. Right here. And whose house is this? Why, this is Strago and Realm's house. I saw a monster floating in the sky. It looked like a fish. There's the end of the world, I woke all alone, Dome of Castle. I've already read this, I think.
For the first time in 50 years, Ebbett's Rock is above water. Head north and you'll see it.
I'm pretty sure I checked in to Thamasa at some point during our various travels. While we are here, though, let's double check the arsenal. Good with mystery veils. Light robe is apparently not great. Diamond vest actually pretty okay. We could buy a new brush, we could buy some things. I actually do want to buy another one of these for a reason, and that reason is off-camera Coliseum things. There's a few really nice things that we can get from the Coliseum pretty early on, and I want those things, and they will definitely help in plans I have to come. Oh, barrier rings, nothing worth. Alright. So, let's have ourselves a nap. So, yeah, we are kind of jumping around pretty haphazardly right now. But there's a reason for this, and I think I have a plan for next episode. We'll see. Hopefully it works, is really what it comes down to. Wait, where did Shadow go? Oh, so we met somebody at the Coliseum that was talking about, I'll see if we can find the guy, but, like, I think he said something along the lines of just, like, somebody's been around looking for this thing called the Striker. So, let's head up to the Coliseum, because we now have a Striker. I think it's this guy. Nope. It wasn't you. You? I'm Imperial Trooper, probably the last one. Dog the Emperor twice. Secret treasure. We'll get there. Alright, like I said, important strategy for the Coliseum is to save beforehand. Care to fight in a plot with the Coliseum? Yes. Also, we have the Behemoth suit, which, this is very much in-game Realm or Strago equipment. So who's gonna beat up Shadow? I was going to throw Celeste at this, but I kind of want to just throw Mog into it because I just let the Moogle beat up Shadow. Let's go with Celeste. Honestly, Mog might do a better job, unless he runs a dance command that's no good. Shadow, why have you shown up here with no weapons? You're just punching. Got our striker back. Hooray.
What are you doing here?
The only thing I know how to do is fight.
Why not come with us?
Well, first I need to see how far I can get here. So, we didn't have an open spot in our party, but Shadow's on the airship now. Well, hey, that actually is quite good timing. There's Shadow. So, that makes 8. We've got those 3. We've got Setzer all up in here. We are actually going to swap out our dudes. That way we can have a quick run around and talk to everybody.
General Leo, I believe I understand what you were trying to say.
Gee.
Kupapo.
Where's Gao? There you are.
Gao becomes stronger on the veldt.
You sure do, buddy. Alright, so that should pretty much close us up for today. I think we are good. We're just going to remove these sprint shoes. Alright, so we've now got a roster of 8. And spoilers, hey, remember that cave that required 2 parties that I started the episode off at? We might be heading back there next time. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not, when I record, if things go as well as I hope they do. That is actually like a pretty... they are not expecting us to go there quite this early. I've mentioned that the world is currently dangerous. I don't remember who has sprint shoes, but this party did have somebody with sprint shoes, so let's do that. So, the world is quite dangerous, and the difficulty is set for everywhere in the world. So, like, when we go to a dungeon, that dungeon is a set level, and that makes things dangerous. So, like, we've got a few... We still have a few leads on where people are. We know that, let's head south and not east. We know that Cyan sounds like he's somewhere over here. Maybe in Zozo, maybe in an area around Zozo. And we pretty much have a spot-on pin for Realm. Probably in Jador. That brings us up to a solid 10. We don't know where Locke's at. We know he's around and he's trying to get treasure. Oh, right, one last thing that we should do. Bellador, just washed up on the beach here. That one's an interesting one, in terms of its summon ability. It makes every party member use a jump attack, which is just kind of funny. And then also it has haste 2 and slow 2, which are haste and slow, but for the party. So that's great, but also it's a slow learn rate, so we'll be kicking around with that one for a bit. Speaking of learn rates and spells, Shadow's the only one that doesn't really have a good coverage on magic. Because he was only on the floating island, and that was like the only time that I had him in my party that I was able to control him. I never had access to him and also the veldt at the same time. Who does that leave? Realm and Realm, Straco, do. Let's just talk to, hey, Shadow. Alright, so we've got 8. We know where Cyan's at. We know where Realm is at. I know where Locke is. We haven't found Strago yet. Again, I know where he's at, but that's another thing. There's been mention of a Sasquatch. And, spoilers, there's a 14th character in this game. And then there's 2 empty spaces. So, that is something for me to worry about. Oh, but yeah, I think next time we're going to be taking on this little secret dungeon here that is, I believe as a kid it took me a while to figure this thing out. As an adult, it feels really obvious, but like this is the sort of thing that's just like, you know, having played games for, you know, ever, you start to notice those little oddities of just like, hey, this is a weird star-shaped mountain with like oddly specific points and also a little opening in the middle, and it looks like I might be able to land an airship there. What if I try? Those sorts of things like that are like neat little kind of secrets. But you know, they become more obvious. There is actually one other thing we can do. Where is that? I don't think it's on a map. This music sounds familiar. Let's do this real quick. It's just a nice little cutscene sort of deal. So, in case you don't pin where that music comes from, it's from when we were climbing Mount Colts, which is where we met Sabin. So, surprise, Sabin is going in our party. Who actually has our sprint shoes? I think is it Gao? By the way, I've been flying around, kind of trying to tease out the random encounter up there, but actually we have the Mool charm that might be interrupting that. Duncan? Why the surprised face? Did you think I was gone? Duncan, I'm so glad you're safe. Whoa. Sabin, this can't be. Tears? Nothing happened to me. The earth yawned right open to take me, but I scrambled to safety. Sabin, it is now time to complete your training. Use these new skills to smash Kafka. Put him up. I call this the bum rush. Go, give Kefka the boot. Oh, I love all the little determined faces. So, yeah, there we go. We have now unlocked the final blitz. It's not the final blitz. There's actually this one here that we still haven't unlocked. We have to get some number of levels. It is the full circle all the way around, strikes a mortal blow. I don't know if it actually kills things outright, but it is really powerful, and I believe it actually is physical, which means we'll probably end up using Aura Bolt anyway, because gosh dang, it hurts. Also, real quick, something else that we can do. Found it. Nobody is in danger of leveling up, right? Cool. There is one last thing that we need to do. And that is just like a silly thing on my part that I haven't thought to do it yet. And hopefully I'm not making a mistake by trying to get in a random fight on this continent. It's very much one of those things that, depending on where you go, things might be really difficult. Also, I don't remember what it is, but Gekorexes do have something that is like really useful to steal. Let's see if I can... See if I can do this bum rush properly. Okay, that... It hits real hard, but wow, that's hard on the eyes. Dang. I do not want to have to edit a flashing lights warning every time I use that blitz. So, we might not be doing that again in this entire playthrough. Oh, did that not count? Do I need to be on this type of tile? Alright, what gives? Oh, right. Okay, that's the one that we can't do. I forgot which terrain we needed for the final dance for Mog. I thought it was just like we needed the World of Ruin background. It's actually, hey, remember way back when we could get into fights up on the, like there was the attack on Narsh and there was like snow up there? That is the last, that's the last dance, is snow. So we need to get to that snowfield and take a fight there in order for Mog to learn his snow dance. Which... maybe. It's a very much a maybe sort of deal. Whether or not I want to do that in the very near future, but I think that is more than enough for today. Also, I don't know if the Moogle Charm protects me against Doomgaze, but hopefully it does. God, flying just feels so good in this game. Just an absolute joy. Oh, okay, so we have recovered a number of party members. We have a few more that we actually know the location of. And just real quick, let me go too far over this way and then back down here. There we go. Somewhere else that like had a little, wait, we can put things here. Well, we found Strago. For 10 Nope. For 100,000 GP, I'll tell you about a secret treasure. You know what? I just saved. Not enough money. Excuse me? Excuse me. No, wait. Oh, no, I'm 2,000 short. Okay. It's like, wait a minute. I have that much money. You are lying to me. Oh, that is like a single fight. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just go get into one little fight. Mom will get scared. Alright, hey Mog. You know that thing I keep throwing at you? Let's... $2,000 money is like chump change at this point. It's so close. I could just run into a random town and just start selling things if I really wanted to, and probably have enough money. That was the wrong way around for anything. I really need to figure out what can cast fire to. Oh, good. Zombies. Oh, it's just shy. Nope, nope, that did it. Okay. We're very much in the phase of the game of where I just don't want to stop playing. Like, I'm really excited to do all the things. And we did... Oh, where was that? I don't remember who said it, but somebody somewhere said something about... if you have somebody's loved one call out somebody's name, then you can wake them from the cult of Kafka. Alright. Sucker. I'm not going to save after you tell me the secret of the treasure. Hoo-wee! Right, here's the scoop. Beneath the desert of Figueroa lies an ancient castle, loaded with treasure. By the way, an old man who lives in the weapon shop in Narsh is looking for you. Members of the cult of Kefka live in this tower. There's something wondrous atop it. You can only use magic attacks inside, so unless your magic's strong, you'll never make it to the top. No use talking to them. They've sold their hearts to Kefka. I think all they do is mope around thinking of him. Buddy. 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 Come on, buddy. It's interesting that I am, like, slowly moving this guy back a pixel. Well, now I've messed up their line, so I feel good about myself. Anyway, so there we go. 100,000 money for, not even a good tip. Just flat out, just not a good tip. I mean, maybe it is, but, like, ultimately, yes. Like, somebody already said that. Somebody already said, hey, Figueroa Castle, like, hit something in the middle of the ocean, so... Like, you already kind of had that hint. So, well, hey, there we go. We've gone over long just because I don't want to stop playing, because, as it turns out, I really like this game, but time has come. Next time, I think we're going to try to take on that dungeon, for reasons, between episodes, I might do some stuff. If I do, it's going to be things like going to the Veldt, and getting people to learn Haste 2 and Slow 2, because those would be kind of handy, probably, maybe. And also heading to the Colosseum and doing some bets. In particular, there is a shield that would be very useful to have several of for going into that dungeon that I want to do. And Colosseum fights are not particularly interesting to watch or do, and it's especially for the trade-up chains on those, it's going to be a very much hit and miss, and RNGesus take the wheel. So that's fine. That's for me to deal with. Don't worry about it. Why am I still talking? Thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself a lovely evening.